I think today's going to be just a simple podcast. I've had a lot of calls today, handled a lot of patients, a lot of clients. And you know, one of the questions I've gotten from you guys is about copper, of all things. And to be honest, I actually thought everybody was doing it right until I started getting all these questions. And I'm like, wait, none of you guys are doing it right. And I'm just going to help you out. So for all the bros, the Insta bros that are about to ready to freak out, go, no, that's not how you do it. I don't know. Then keep advising people wrong and let your ego make decisions. I don't know really what to tell you, because you know what's fascinating is like we live in the most advanced period in human history by far. Like we can sequence our genome for like $200. We have more data on human health than every single generation before us combined. Just listen to me. And yet the majority of people who are trying to hack their biology to reverse aging, to feel young again. They're chasing that fountain of youth, the joints that don't hurt, the skin that doesn't look like a melted candle, right? The fat loss, the cardiovascular system that works right, all of this stuff to be young again. Yeah, they're doing it wrong. Most of you guys are doing it wrong. And the issue is timid and scared and leaving 90% of the benefits on the table because you're listening to these fear-mongering imbecile bloggers and Insta gurus and so-called experts instead of understanding the fundamental biochemistry of their own bodies. You guys got to understand what you're walking around with. This meat popsicle that you have, I said it before and I'll say it again, you need to learn how to be the CEO of your biology, which is why I'm coming out here. I'll tell you, I think I get asked now, I've been asked by a lot of universities and colleges to come speak. My criteria is always the same. Burn your woke agenda. I'll come speak. I'll come speak for free. Keep your woke agenda, $1 million for an hour. That's it. Because I don't want to speak at a college that is trying to indoctrinate children. Children. You're still a child when you're 17 or 18. My daughter's going to be 19. She still has childlike tendencies. And I love my daughter. And she's a Bachmeyer. She's a daughter of a Spartan. Let me tell you how savage that kid is. Still a child. Still unsure about things. Still impressionable. Susceptible to influence. And so you indoctrination camps, you re-education camps that are, you guys move under the guise of a college. You guys are a bunch of liars, man. You're screwing up the next generation, but you fucking, just like the last 10, 15 years, even 20 years of doctors coming out of colleges, you guys are all a bunch of clowns. I've been a doc for a long time. You know what's embarrassing? What you guys do, which is why I come out here. So treat my channel as a masterclass on how to have fantastic biology, maybe get your limiting beliefs handled and get your mind right and grab a little bit of confidence and a shred of ego and some self-worth and go on with your life and become a badass motherfucker like you're supposed to be. How about that? That's it. That's what I want you to, it's from me to you. There's my gift. I want to give you everything so you can do that. But like right now, I'm just so we're clear, because I'm going to talk about one thing, the one molecule in particular. It's just so fundamental to your health, by the way, so critical to the structure of your youth that you guys are all chasing. I have all these wrinkles here on my forehead. Your youth, treating it like this gentle supplement is like trying to, I don't know, fight a forest fire with this cup of coffee in my hand and wondering why it's not going out. Like that's how ludicrous it is. And yet you guys are listening to Reddit forums and Quora forums and blogs instead of listening to people that know what the fuck they're talking about, like me. I'm not talking about the idiots that stitch together videos. What are you guys, 5? Let me tell you about how Dr. Trevor is wrong. I'm not. You can do that. All you do is put more people onto me and make me more popular. So knock yourself out. Any of you guys that are doing that, stitch my shit all you want. All you're doing is making me more successful. Thank you. I love it. It doesn't bother me at all. So stitch away, man. Stitch away. But copper. GHK-CU, copper. You guys are going to be like, I have a lady, Jackie. She's so badass. She's in my Black Card membership. And she takes, I don't remember how much she takes. It's a significant amount of copper. But she always gets a red welt. She goes, it lasts for 2, 3, 4 days. She goes, I take it every day. What a badass woman. If you're listening to this, you are gangster as hell. Love it. Most people go, I can't take it. It hurts. It stings. But they'll go get their cooch waxed and go, well, I have to though, because I want it to be smooth. Okay, then you can tolerate copper. I don't care about doing that. Great. Make it look amazing. But then quit complaining about a little discomfort to be healthy. You understand the difference, right? One is to look a certain way. It doesn't change your hygiene. Save it. Just use soap. You know what? It changes how you look. This changes how you function. Copper. If you're taking less than minimum 1, but I'd say 2 2 milligrams of this peptide every day. Oh, by the way, I need to say this before I even go any further, because otherwise somebody's going to have an aneurysm. This isn't meant to treat, diagnose, cure, prescribe, advise, triage, any other nonsense that I'm not allowed to say or do. This is only hypothetical, theoretical, educational, for entertainment, and doesn't mean a damn thing. Like I always say, it's about as real as a Disney movie. Old Yeller wasn't real, just so you know. They didn't shoot the dog. And when Bambi died, the artist just stopped drawing the deer. You're okay. Don't freak out when you're like, Disney's real. No, it's not. It's Disneyland. Disneyland went off the deep end. Anyway, this is one of these days. If you're taking less than 2 milligrams of this peptide, honestly, you are, with all due respect, wasting your time and your money, and you're underdosing dramatically. And I know you guys right now are like, no, I'm only supposed to, you have a protocol that only said 2 to 300. Yeah, if it's mixed in a protocol, and there's a lot of other factors that come into play. Besides, remember, you cannot untake something. So start lower, but just pause your outrage and your nonsense that you're going through in your head, because you're smart enough, because you're actually listening to this podcast. You want the truth, not the safe, politically correct, sanitized version of health that's been sterilized to make it fit some kind of dogma that's not going to make you healthy. I'm talking the real, unfiltered science. How about I just talk about what this damn thing actually is and what it does? Because most people think, I don't know, it's just blue. Is it supposed to be blue? Yes, it's supposed to be blue. Copper is not some synthetic, weird, lab-created mystery chemical that comes out of Pfizer. It is a signal. It is a tripeptide. It's just 3 amino acids. That's it. Glycine, histidine, and lysine, with this single copper ion just tucked in the center of this thing. It's like a key in a lock. But this isn't some random combo. You guys have to understand this. This is a specific signal peptide that your body it recognizes all peptides, but it recognizes it's a signal to use that your body is using to produce youth. And here's why I'm saying this. Your body used to make this in abundance when you were little. Like when you were young, this was everywhere in you. Think of your DNA as this massive library of blueprints. It's the easiest way to do this. So you have this library of blueprints, your DNA, right? Your entire code. But a library is completely useless without somebody called a librarian. And I'm not talking about microfiches when I was young, or card catalogs, or all the other stuff that you guys have no idea what I'm talking about. But I mean, a librarian, useless. Without a librarian, the library is useless without a librarian or a director, or you could use any example. This is just the easiest one I can think of off the top of my head, because your DNA is a library of blueprints. Some of you guys are like, I don't even know what a library is. You should probably start. But the librarian tells the workers in the library what blueprints to pull, what blueprints to read, and what blueprints to use and apply in certain situations. And it says when to use one place and when to use one another place, and not to mix them up. But as you age, the librarians that are hanging out in your DNA, they all retire and they pound sand and they go sit on a beach and drink margaritas. So now the library's quiet. You know what GHK-CU is? It's the head librarian. It's the one that leads the entire damn band. So this thing walks in, flips on all the lights, tells all your genes, which are the workers, to start reading all the blueprints for repair, for growth, for youth, upregulates over 30 different genes just for tissue regeneration and antioxidant production and wound healing alone. Just for that. If you think 30 is not a big number, it's a big number. This thing is like a master switch, just turns it on. So this is where it gets really beautiful from a neurological and physiological standpoint. GHK-CU, I'm just going to call it copper. Copper's effects are beyond profound. So it binds to DNA and influences the transcription of genes that are responsible for synthesizing collagen, glycosaminoglycans, and just a bunch of other compounds from the extracellular matrix, the scaffolding that kind of builds this thing. But this isn't a gentle suggestion, you guys. This is a direct order to fibroblasts, which build things, that it says, start building this, damn now. Increases the production of mitochondria. So imagine if you mix, and I'm just saying hypothetically, if you mix this together, SS31, MOTS-C, and copper, maybe throw in some methylene blue. This is why understanding physiology yet again makes a difference, because it increases, copper alone increases the production of mitochondria, which are the little power plants inside of your cells. More energy means more. Every single cellular process that you've got runs more efficiently. Your brain gets sharper. Your muscles recover faster. Your entire system, digestion, oxidation, fatty acid oxidation, all of the things that occur in your body, synaptic transmission, all of the stuff that goes on operates at a much higher voltage. Like, I'm just getting started. The copper ion in GHK-CU is a cofactor for something called superoxide dismutase. It's one of your body's most potent endogenous, means made inside, antioxidants. GHK-CU doesn't just mop up a few free radicals. It supercharges your body's own built-in defense system to do it on like an industrial scale. You have to understand how badass this is and why it's such a big deal that you guys, if you're not taking it, you should be. It also suppresses key inflammatory cytokines, TNF-alpha, IL-6. It's like sending in special forces to calm down a riot, but the riot is at the cellular level and it says, hey, you need to calm down or we're going to start kicking ass and taking names. This is the issue. People go, well, if it's so good, why do I have to cycle it on and off? Or can I take it forever? Or should I cycle it on and off? All this stuff. The answer is you should take it forever, hypothetically, for your experiment. This is the fear that most people have that holds a lot of people back, you guys. Oh, it's a peptide. You have to cycle it. Nonsense. Are you out of your mind? Okay, you cycle it? Let me get this straight. You don't cycle oxygen, do you? Do you cycle water? You don't cycle having a functional leader librarian in your DNA, in the library in your DNA. GHK-CU is replenishing a signal that declines with age. Research, real published science shows that your plasma levels of GHK-CU drop over 60% between the ages of 20 and 60. You're not supplementing with a foreign substance. You are replacing the deficiency that you have from your age. Pay attention because this is important. It's a great idea. The reason you want to stay on this is because aging is not a cycle. I don't know if you figured this out yet. I'm 52. Things hurt now that didn't hurt before. It is a one-way street of decline. And unless you intervene, chronic low-dose replacement therapy is something you're going to need to do. The safety profile of this peptide is incredible. There's no evidence of any receptor downregulation whatsoever. Oh, tachyphylaxis with GHK-CU in the way you see it with a lot of other peptides. It's working on a deeper genetic level that you need, quite frankly. It makes everything work better. So yes, just take it forever and it gives you the optimal health that you guys keep chasing around everywhere. You should stay on it indefinitely. Why wouldn't you? You guys, the doctors have convinced you, Big Pharma has convinced you to stay on baby aspirin, which is a known toxin. It is a known poison, but they have you convinced that if you don't stay on it, you don't thin your blood, you're going to wind up dying and it actually increases longevity. How fucking stupid are you? And they actually made you believe it. Right up there with a C9 shot though too, huh? How many boosters you guys getting now? You guys make some bad decisions. I come out here to help you make good ones and yet you still go against the grain. One of the questions I got yesterday actually was, can I mix copper, GHK-CU, with other peptides? And that is a terrible idea. Don't do that. Just don't. Stop. Just stop it. I see people talking online, and it's usually the Insta bros and the pseudo experts and the people that self-proclaim how smart they are with like 17 million followers and 16.9 million of those were bought. But they talk about stacking this in one syringe. This is pharmacokinetic and biochemical illiteracy. The copper, here's why. I'll just explain it easily. The copper ion in GHK-CU is highly reactive. It's a transition metal, right? You with me so far? So it doesn't play well with others. Throwing it into a cocktail with a bunch of other peptides is like throwing a lit match into a box of fireworks that's been soaked in gasoline and expecting just a pretty display of things that are going to look great. You're going to get degradation, precipitates, unpredictable broken molecules that your body doesn't even recognize. The copper is going to catalyze oxidation reactions. It's going to damage the fragile structures of all the other peptides, especially BPC-157 or ipamorelin, before they even get a chance to work. So right off the bat, those are two that people take and use them all the time to mix with copper. Are you adding? You're just wasting your peptide. This isn't a suggestion. This is a very binary law of chemistry. Administer GHK-CU alone, period, by itself. If you're taking any other peptides, 15 to 20 minutes, even 30 minutes, space them apart like that. Just respect the damn science. That's all you have to do. If you're doing it because it's more convenient, then you don't want the results. You want the convenience and to be able to tell everybody else that you're doing something. But then don't blame the peptide when it doesn't work. Blame the idiot that held the syringe. That's just facts. You can get mad all you want, get in my comments and get all pissed off. Like I said, I think I'm just going to turn off comments because some of you girls just can't handle somebody going, hey, you're wrong and I'm giving you the right answer. You guys must have been a fucking nightmare in school, right? You're just like, oh, teacher's telling me I got an F on my test because I'm stupid. Yeah, because you were stupid because you didn't know the information. You guys get in the chat. It's just teacher doesn't know what they're talking about. My bro science is way more educated than physics. Okay, Isaac Newton, you got it. Listen, let me explain something about copper and why it's so awesome. This thing and the cardiovascular system, they're blood brothers. And I guarantee you, here's a fact that your cardiologist, if you have one, don't. But if you had one, never mentioned. What a waste of a profession. Copper is absolutely essential. It's like right up there with an oncologist, right? Like, fuck, what a stupid profession. What a lie. It's like NASA. Just another lie. Copper is absolutely essential for the integrity of your blood vessels. It's a critical cofactor for something called lysyl oxidase. This is the enzyme that cross-links collagen and elastin fibers. These fibers are the steel rebar and elastic bands within your arterial walls. So when copper levels drop, which I said they do with age, remember 20 to 60, they drop about 60%. So the result is your arteries lose their muscular tone, which is required, right? For vasodilation, constriction, function, flexibility. So they become stiff and brittle and inflexible. And this is the primary driver of a ton of hypertension and cardiovascular disease outside of all the other factors. But it's not just about plaquing or the Velcro inside of your vessels that I always call it. It's about the fundamental architecture of your vascular system turning into chalk. GHK-CU delivers a very directly into these tissues, helping to restore the critical cross-linking that you need. It effectively makes your arteries young and supple again. This alone is a game changer for longevity, because if you get adequate nutrient and oxygen perfusion to all tissues, the tissues last longer because they get all the good things in and all the bad things out, right? Somebody asked me this about wrinkles. Is there something I can take about wrinkles? Yeah, copper. Not wiping it on your face either. Really. Wrinkles aren't just a cosmetic issue. They're an external billboard for systemic decay. I got tons of wrinkles. I'm covered in wrinkles. I don't care about that. What I'm saying is when those are premature, and by the way, if you're wearing sunglasses to keep yourself from getting what are called smile lines, you're wearing sunglasses because somebody told you that the dumbest thing you can do is wear sunglasses. And by the way, go outside and go stare at the sun for an hour. Go ahead, knock yourself out. You're not going to go blind. That's a fucking lie. It's the most ridiculous lie I've ever seen in my life. It doesn't work like that. Jesus, I can't even imagine. A number of our parents are like, you look at it, you're going to go blind. Get out of here. No, you're not. And stupid. You can say, oh, I have a friend, they burned their retinas and they went blind. Thanks a lot, bro. Bullshit. You making fun of my childhood friend? No, I'm just calling you a liar. Go out and prove me wrong. Let me see. Okay, Ray Charles, got it. Get out of here, man. The stuff you guys come up with is unbelievable. Unbelievable. But this same process that weakens about copper, right? The same process, like even wrinkles, it doesn't prevent wrinkles. Wrinkles just happen. Wrinkles are an example of systemic degradation and decay. That's it. It's plain and simple. The same process that weakens your arteries, that thins your skin, right? It thins your skin if you're not on something like warfarin or any kind of horrific drugs that you should not be on either. The collapse of collagen and elastin is what leads to the sagging and the wrinkles. GHK-CU attacks this problem from every angle, but from inside. It signals for new collagen production, enhances the quality of that collagen through optimal, I guess, copper-dependent enzyme activity would be the shortest answer. If you really want me to get into it, send me a message. But it reduces the inflammatory damage that breaks down existing tissue. And you guys are like, can I take it topically? Can I take it orally? Can I take it rectally? You can do whatever the hell you want. It's just not going to be very effective. Those are surface level fixes at best, or just stupid. Putting copper cream on GHK-CU and spending, I don't know how much money it would cost, probably some astronomical amount. That's a surface level fix. It's not going to work. Subcutaneous injection is the strategic bombing campaign that rebuilds the entire foundation. You need to fix your system from the inside out, not from the outside in. So how about this? Listen, I'll show you how badass copper is. Let's get under the hood and explain this stuff. Move past the symptoms and looking at the failing. Instead, look at the failing machinery, because GHK-CU isn't a Band-Aid. It's like a systems engineer for your body, because here's what it's fixing at the physiological level, right? So if you look at something like osteoarthritis, right? You think it's just worn out cartilage? That's normal. Why is it that somebody that's 90 can have perfectly good joints and somebody that's 45 can't, and they both have the same basic physiology? Because they don't have the same basic physiology. It's not genetics. Save it. What a lie that is. It's not genetics. It's systemic. It's physiology that's been degrading by all the nonsense. I bet you it's either poor mechanics. I know it's poor mechanics or poor human biology. Both are directly under your control. But you think osteoarthritis is just worn out cartilage and a system that's just not working right? It's a biochemical desert. Think about it. Think about what it is. Just follow me on this. The synovial fluid, this beautiful, soft, just viscous lubricant just slips around, turns thin and hyperinflammatory. I talked about this on the KPV post yesterday. Chondrocytes, which are the cells that create and maintain your cartilage, dormant, senescent, they just don't work. The extracellular matrix, the scaffolding, collapses, and GHK-CU changes the entire microenvironment of the joint. You don't have to inject right at the joint, by the way, before you ask. It downregulates nuclear factor kappa light chain enhancer of activated B cells. It downregulates the NF-kappa B pathway, which is, I've talked about this, the master switch for inflammation. But simultaneously, here's the best part, it upregulates the synthesis of key like scaffolding and matrix components, not the matrix like Keanu Reeves. Collagen types 1, types 3, elastin. It doesn't just reduce pain. It signals for the literal physical reconstruction of the joint architecture itself. It turns a desert back into, I guess, a rainforest. I had a patient one time and they were being prescribed all kinds of things. They had diabetic ulcers. And the first thing I did was, sometimes I don't even know if, am I violating HIPAA? Even that is stupid. The shit you can look up on people. Who cares? I got enough problems in my own life. I'm not looking up anybody else's life, you weirdos, and looking people up and go, let me see, let me look up their life. Let me find their address. I had one of you Muppets ask me, hey, if we live close, can we come do a consultation? You ready? No, not a chance. No. I'm also not a trainer. I'm a doctor. I don't do personal training or diets or workout programs for anybody. Why? Because you don't listen and I don't have the patience for you. I'm just very transparent about it. So anyway, this lady had diabetic ulcers and they were giving her all kinds of things. A lot of them were, and corticosteroids by the gallon. Make that make sense after my cortisone or my prednisone post. Let's see. We're destroying the system, thinning the skin, trashing the liver, causing more osteoporosis, fueling insulin resistance, and wrecking the immune system when you have diabetic ulcers that can get infected and cause, well, death. But that's what you're giving to try and close up the ulcer? You guys understand that most of you I will fully say this, 99% of you doctors with your medical degrees, you can go right to fucking hell. You guys are liars. You guys are liars, indoctrinated liars that are trying to indoctrinate the public and get them to believe your nonsense. You guys can go right to hell. I'm going to burn your lives right to the ground. I hope so. I hope this makes you so mad. I hope you hear me and you're like, I can't stand this guy. Good. Because that means I'm pointing my finger at you because you are costing people their lives, their health, and everything they value, everything that they hold dear to them. You know what I'm doing? Coming out here and just giving them answers that are blowing your doors off. Because you can't do it because they don't want to go to your stupid wellness clinic, your longevity clinic, and get hooked up to a machine and change out their blood every fucking 20 minutes or other nonsense. I'm making them the juggernaut they're supposed to be, and I'm doing it for free. Where are you at now? That's how irritated I am about this stuff. Even thinking about this lady and her ulcers. Listen, diabetic ulcers aren't just, this is important. They're not just sores. These are a catastrophic failure of wound healing cascade. They're stuck perpetually. Hence why they gave this lady prednisone. They're stuck just permanently in this pro-inflammatory state. So now watch, high glucose levels create this advanced glycolation. Now watch, high glucose levels create advanced glycation end products, AGEs, that gum up the works and create rampant oxidative stress. Fibroblasts become senescent, non-operational. They're alive, but just useless. GHK-CU, you know what it does? Acts as a conductor. It goes out, steps in front of the orchestra, and restarts the entire thing. It's like the orchestral score of healing. It just cranks it up full volume and gets everybody playing perfect, everybody's first chair. If you know, you know. It chelates copper directly to the wound site where it's a cofactor of angiogenesis. You've heard that word before. What do you think angiogenesis, what else would you pair with that? Let's see, BPC, hypothetically, TB500. That might be a thought. Maybe KPV to knock down that inflammation. Maybe some MOTS-C, maybe some methylene blue. So there's energy there to actually do all this work. Strange thought, because it's the cofactor angiogenesis, which is the growth of new capillaries to deliver oxygen and nutrients. It solves so much of the problem. It reactivates those senescent fibroblasts that I was talking about in the diabetic ulcers. It turns them back into these productive collagen factories. It's not healing the wound. It's rebooting a permanently failed local operating system. So what do you think I gave her? 5 milligrams every day. Weird how all of her diabetic ulcers went away. And then we solved the diabetes problem at the same time, type 2. The laundry list of patients that I have that I've worked with and the things I've seen that have changed. And listen, no doctor anywhere. If a doctor ever says I healed them, just punch him right in the face. Like I said, I've been a doc for decades. I've never healed anybody of anything. No doctor anywhere, anytime in history has ever healed anybody of anything, ever. They've gotten something out of the way. and let the body do its job. Those should be giant red flags for you. And people go, let me give you this chemical. It's going to make you healthy. It's not what I'm saying, by the way. So don't you dare misconstrue what I just said. I didn't say copper will make you healthy. I said copper will turn on all the shit so you can be healthy. You look at cognitive decline. Here's another one copper works really well in. Neurodegeneration isn't just about plaques and, like amyloid plaques and tau tangles. It's this slow burn, right? Microglia, the brain's immune cells, become chronically activated. So they pump out just inflammatory cytokines nonstop that damage neurons. Mitochondria in neurons become extremely inefficient. So they produce less ATP and more ROSs, reactive oxygen species. So they're sputtering out. The engine isn't working right. The copper in the GHK-CU is a mandatory cofactor for superoxide dismutase, a very specific version of it, superoxide dismutase 1, which is the primary antioxidant in your neurons. So by boosting SOD1, GHK-CU turns off that neuronal oxidative fire, promotes neurite outgrowth, which is the extension of dendritic branches that form new connections. So it's not just protecting the brain from all the rust and cognitive decline. It's telling it, it's encouraging, it's like giving it gentle prods to go rewire and expand its entire network. But don't take copper. Don't take copper. Don't bother. The one that bothers me a little bit is because of my dad. The liver's job, listen, it's about you could solve so many liver problems with copper. The liver's job is to take toxins and neutralize them. But under constant assault, hepatic stellate cells activate. They stop storing something called vitamin A, and they start overproducing collagen. So they lay down this thick, dysfunctional scar tissue that chokes out the organ. This is fibrosis. GHK-CU is shown clinically in research, endless amounts of research, incredibly potent anti-fibrotic activity. It directly opposes the transforming growth factor beta, the TGF beta pathway, which I've talked about as well before, which is the primary driving force of stellate cell activation and collagen production. See, it depends where and when things happen, where they're either beneficial or harmful. And it depends on what's going on in the body. So it shifts the liver's primary priority from scar formation to regeneration. It promotes the proliferation of healthy hepatocytes. It's not a detox supplement. It's a signal that tells your liver to stop wailing itself into submission and closing itself off and start rebuilding functional tissue instead. Because otherwise your liver's just beating the shit out of itself and you don't know why, except they give you something that doesn't solve the problem. It makes your liver work harder. It's already overworked. You can take this stuff after a workout. After a workout, sorry, right now my thumb is hurting me a little bit because it's not my wrist. My wrist, look at this. This is crazy, huh? So after a workout, listen, this is how badass this is. I'm going to stretch this out. It feels so good. You guys have no idea what I'm doing if you're listening on Spotify, but it's so awesome. So after a workout, somebody's going to stitch this clip. It's going to look retarded. What is he praying? So after a workout, you create these micro tears, which is good. You're supposed to. The problem of aging is that the subsequent inflammatory response is grossly disproportionate and incredibly prolonged. It lasts forever. And the older you get, the worse it gets. It's like calling in a nuclear strike it's like a little border skirmish. And I don't know, just drop neutrophils, macrophages. They flood the area and they cause excessive collateral damage. It delays the actual repair work. GHK-CU is a very powerful immunomodulator. It doesn't suppress inflammation. It organizes or orchestrates it. It helps shift the immune response from highly destructive, pro-inflammatory macrophage phenotype to a inflammatory phenotype, which means a cleaner and faster and much more efficient repair. So it still has to do the repair, but it doesn't do it in this delayed, prolonged way that actually ends up causing more damage. So the satellite cells can get to work building new muscle without having to wade through the cytokine swamp that's torching the entire place. It doesn't just help you recover, optimizes the entire physiological response to stress, which is what a workout is. That's why this stuff's really important. So let this land a little bit. It's never just a symptom. It's never just a symptom that's going on in you. It's a broken mechanism. And GHK-CU, it's not some supplement. And no, you cannot take it orally. It'll get disintegrated in the gut, especially with what it's made out of. It's amino acids. Are you out of your mind? You guys in your orals, but it has a coating. It'll never make first pass degradation, ever. 100%. I don't care what you try and tell me. I don't care what supplement company said that they will spend billions of dollars not to make it work, to market to you, to tell you that it'll work. You do understand the difference, right? One is I'm going to make sure it works. The other is I'm going to market to you telling you that we did that. No, you didn't. Unless chemistry has radically changed and physiology is not yours anymore, it's some weird new physiology that nobody knows about. Bullshit. It will not work. GHK-CU is a master key that turns all the locks of the very gene control that controls these systems. It's not medicine. It is information. That's what peptides are. They're information. So listen, one of the questions I get to is age reversal. So hypothetically, I'll even go down the rabbit hole on this. I'm 34 minutes in and I kind of want to go inside. I have other things to do, but I'm going to do this anyway. You want the blueprint? I'll help you out. I'll give you age reversal from A to Z. This is one of the most basic ways to do it, but holy shit, is it going to help you? You stack GHK-CU as the cornerstone. GHK-CU is the foundation, the non-negotiable base of 1 to 2 milligrams. And if you go, okay, I'll take 1 then. Take 2. You should be going, how do I take 5? Like, I don't, even you guys right now, I can feel it. I could feel the questions going 1 to 2. Okay, 1. Except if it was, would you like 1 million or 2 million? 2 million. You guys get your priorities right, man. Stack the GHK-CU, say 2. I'll just say 2 milligrams every day. And then we build the house. So MOTC, so you can handle mitochondrial biogenesis and energy production. Remember, it's a peptide that it's a mitochondrial peptide, specifically mitochondrial derived signal that gets right to the heart of every cellular energy production process in your body. It works synergistically with GHK-CU. It's mitogenic effects, which gives it a wild, powerful snap kick double punch for your vitality. And I'm not going to get into the details because I've done these so many times. Telomere support is something you should think about. So we've got energy, we've got telomere support. So while GHK-CU works on all of these genes, epidolon targets the telomerase enzyme and the pineal gland dysfunction. So it changes. The issue is superior and very well architectural or very well orchestrated sleep, restorative sleep is without any, it's the best recovery tool. It's the ultimate recovery tool. It does better recovery than any supplement you'll ever get. Epidolon is the master key to that. This is your nightly regenerative dive. Hypothetically, if you're going to use this Epidolon 20 days, then take 4 months off. Why can't you take it forever? I'm going to tell you right now because I fucking said so. You don't need any other reason. I'm tired of giving these explanations. Just accept it. BPC 157, which is the ultimate repair signal. We know that. While you don't mix it, by the way, with GHK-CU, you take it with GHK-CU, which is what I talked about when I was talking about the diabetic ulcers. Take it a half hour apart. Take it at a separate time. It works on healing the gut, the tendons, the ligament, angiogenesis, promotes new blood vessel growth, right? What I told you about, VEGF, complements GHK-CU's tissue building focus with this insane healing focus. And you want to fix the cognitive aspect, cerebrolysin. I was thinking phenylpiracetam hydrazide, but cerebrolysin is a better choice because it's not a synthetic peptide. It's a mixture of neurotrophic factors. It's like giving your brain this incredibly concentrated fertilizer for growth and repair. So one of the aspects of GHK-CU is it's also neurologically protective. It gives neurons armor. So what this does when you mix cerebrolysin is in it with, it enhances synaptic plasticity, memory, recovery from brain injury, from TBIs. This is how you upgrade the hardware of your entire body. And right now with cerebrolysin, how you do it with your mind. So listen to me, the stack, GHK-CU, MOTC, Epidolon, cerebrolysin, BPC 157. And if you go, what about adding this, doc? I'm giving you this. So if you start going, what about this? What about that? We're not going to get along. I'm giving this to you because I'm trying to help you out. This addresses the core pillars of aging: genetic expression, cellular energy, sleep systems, systemic repair, and brain function. It's a comprehensive, synergistic, and brutally effective stack. You can argue and you can try and come up with other reasons. You can tell me it stings when you inject it, then stop getting waxed, stop doing dumb things, stop working out hard. I don't know what to tell you. We have been sold this lie, and I've said it before, that you are supposed to accept. Aging is all about accepting cognitive decline and saying, well, I guess I'll just be this frail little person at 45. No, you shouldn't. Peak performance is not for the young. I'm 52 years old. Believe me, I can hang. You're told that these tools, peptides and SARMs and SERMs and even anabolics, they're just too dangerous and too complex. That is a lie. That is a lie to keep you weak, docile, and very dependent on their what? 2 words: managed decline. The science is absolutely clear on all of this. The only thing standing between you and all the stuff that you want, I've said this before, I'll say it again, the healthy version, the strong version, the wealthy version, the happily married version, the whatever it is, the version is your own damn fucking fear, your willingness to accept mediocrity. I come out here because I want you to win, not because I get anything magic for it. The magic I get is when I see people winning. I don't know. It's your move. How about you go fucking win? Yeah, I gotta go. Hope that helps. Never miss.